operating levy and a referendum are one and the same. And what is it? And it allows the school district to raise additional revenue over and above what the state gives you. Okay? It's called referendum and operating levy. As far as Minnesota referendums are concerned, there are 90% of the public school districts in the state of Minnesota that have referendums. And that's 302 out of 337 districts. The average referendum amount is $936 per pupil, and there are 75 districts seeking referendums this coming fall. So 75 school districts will be voting on a referendum on November 2nd. That's the highest since 2007, when there were 101 districts that went out, and we're asking the taxpayers for approval. West Central area is seeking $1,370 per pupil, and we'll talk a little bit about that as we move along the PowerPoint. One of the things that I want to point out with the 1370 is my hometown of Pelican Rapids. They had some confusion in their district that when they tried to pass an operating levy referendum this past spring, that the people in the community of Pelican Rapids thought that that was the amount of tax that they needed to pay. Okay? There was a lot of confusion with that. That is not the amount of tax that you will pay. We'll get into that later, okay, if the referendum passes. So I just want to make that clear on this screen, is that that's not the amount of tax, that's the number per pupil that it generates. All right, why an operating levy? Basically, there are three main reasons that we feel that we need to have an operating levy in place, or that there's an increase. One is to continue to offer a quality program. Second is to continue to offer effective grade level configurations that we have across our district. And you all know what a span we have in our district, and we want to be able to continue to offer the effective grade level configurations that we have. Third one is to continue to carry out the mission of the West Central Area School District. In 1995, when our school district came together, the board at that time and the communities at that time did a great job of putting together 4 mission statements. There was one for the elementary, there was one for middle school, there was one for high school, and there was one for a district. Okay? That was very important at that time, I think, not having been around here at that time, but it was very important because we were coming together as communities, we were coming together as a school district, and they wanted their separate special mission statements. The school board last spring and over the summer spent a considerable amount of time saying, are those 4 mission statements still applicable to us at West Central area? And as we started talking about that, and as the board was discussing that over a period of probably 3-4 months, they came together with one and said, okay, here's our mission for the West Central Area School District. And the mission is right here. And it's the mission of the West Central Area School District, with the support of our families and communities, is to provide opportunities for all learners that will inspire a passion for educational excellence and lifelong learning. There's a couple of key phrases in there that our board spent a lot of time with, and I think the most important one was provide opportunities and for all learners. Okay? When we talk about providing opportunities, we talk about everything that our board decides runs it through this sieve. Okay? I remember having a discussion this past late summer when the decision was made, or we were trying to make a decision on whether we split the kindergarten section at this particular building at South. We have 29 kindergartners, and we're trying to decide, do we or don't we? And one of our board members said, what would our mission statement tell us to do? When we're talking about 5-year-olds and providing opportunities, they said it was a pretty clear decision. The decision was to split that class into 2. And we're providing opportunities for kids. Okay? So that's probably the main reason why. What are our current issues, challenges, problems, if you will? 1, enrollment. 2, fixed costs, and 3, funding. I want to go through each one of those 3 kind of a little bit more in detail here. First one is enrollment. In 1995, when our district came together, we had 1,213 students, K-12. In 2010, we have 718 students. You can obviously see the decline there. 495 students less today than we had in 1995. Now, if you take approximately $6,500 per student, give or take, that equals to be about $3.2 million less than 80. Now, please understand a couple of things. One is, if we have 495 more students in our district, we're spending that money. Obviously, we have a lot more teachers, we have a lot more support staff, we have a lot more everything. Okay? So we'd be spending more. The other thing to keep in mind is that in 1995, we certainly were, the districts were not getting $6,500 per student. Okay? And so keep that in mind as well. seeing here is obviously that. This one probably points it out even a little bit more clearly. What this graph shows is how many graduating seniors we had in 2000 and how many kindergartners replaced it. And this is our current 10th grade class. Okay, so we graduated 98 seniors, we brought in 56 kindergartners, and that's a difference of 42 kids. We've been doing that, as you can see, we've been doing that for the last 10 years. Graduating more than what's coming in. This year, for the first time, last spring, we graduated 64 seniors and we brought in 65 kindergartners. So for the first time in 10 years, we're on the positive side of that. That's a challenge that our district has been working with for the last 10 years. One thing to keep in mind, even though we're on the plus side, which we feel very good about, we're still on the minus side with revenue, the amount of money coming in, because graduating seniors are worth, and money-wise, are worth a lot more than incoming kindergartners.